Hello everyone, welcome to We Learn tutorial. Hope you all are doing well. So in this video we are going to do force and pressure. This is the topic of class 8th. So in this video we will discuss about force, and in the next video we will continue with the pressure. So what is force? As I have shown in the figure, you can see push or pull is known as force. In the first figure you can see two boys, they are trying to push this ball, and in the second figure you can see one is pushing and the other one is pulling the wall. So you just have to understand that pull and push is known as force. And now let's understand the meaning of a force with the help of its definition. See, force is defined as a push or a pull, or we can say that force is a physical quantity that can change the speed, state, direction and shape of an object. So that's what we have understood just now, that any type of push or pull, it's known as force, but we can also define that it is a physical quantity. So physical quantity means something that can be measured. Your height, weight and everything are physical quantities which you can measure. So force is that physical quantity which can change the speed, state, direction and shape of an object. So all these changes also we will learn one by one with the help of suitable examples. So before learning these things, you have to understand one thing. A force is always due to the interaction between two objects. Interaction means when two objects, either they are touching each other or somehow in any way they are responding to one another. So that is interaction. So force is always there if there is an interaction between two objects. So how? See, look at this figure. Here you can see this boy is trying to push this cart. Here you can see he is pushing this cart with the help of his hands. So here we can see his hands, they are interacting with this cart. So direct touch also we can say it's interaction, or if they are not touching, because in further examples you will come to know more, but now just remember one thing, that touching is interaction. So this is holding with his hands, which means this boy is interacting with this cart, and as a result this boy is able to push this cart, and push is an example of, or is a form of force. Let's see one more example. Here this boy is trying to pushing this tire with the help of this stick. Now you can see this stick is touching this tire, which means this stick and the tire, they both are interacting with each other, due to this interaction only this tire is able to move. So again from here we can see a force is taking place here in the form of push, again on the interaction between this stick and the tire. So always you have to remember this thing, that force is always due to interaction between two objects. Now let's study the changes which we have already learnt in which we already have seen in the definition. A force can change the speed of an object, it can change the state, it can change the shape of an object, and it can change the direction of an object. So all these changes we will understand with the help of examples. So first is change in speed. Just now I have told you force can change the speed of an object. So how so? We'll look on the example. See, here this person is cycling. Now the person is applying a force on the pedals of the cycle. See, it depends on the person. Now it's his wish, he can move fast also and he can move slow also, or he can maintain steady speed also. So it depends on the force. If you have done cycling in your life, you can relate. If you apply more force, the speed of the cycle will be more. If you apply less force, speed of the cycle will be less. And if you are constantly moving, with the same force, then the speed of the cycle will be steady. So the main motive was to make you understand that it is the force which is changing the speed. If we are applying more force, the speed will increase, and if we are applying less force, speed will be decreased. And if we are applying constant force, means same force throughout our cycling, so speed will remain constant, no change in the speed. So all the three ways you can see, it is force which is responsible for the change in speed of the cycle. You can take some other examples also, and if you have any other examples, you can post those examples in the comment section. We can take example of kicking of a ball. Same thing there also. If you kick a ball very with more force, it will move very fast. But if you kick a ball with less force, it will move slow. So it depends on the force which you are applying. Then boating, if you have done boating, again if we are applying more force, means the speed of the boat will be fast, and less force means its speed will be less. So it is force which is responsible in the change of speed. Now let's do the next one. So next is the change in state. Force can change the state of an object. So state means, I want to explain you, if something is in the position of rest, if we apply force, that thing will come into the state of motion. So in the same way, if something is in the state of motion, on applying force, it can come into the state of rest. So let's understand how it is happening or how it's taking place. See, I have taken 3 examples, and the examples I have taken from your textbook. Here, this football, it was in the state of motion, and this person with his hands, he applied force to catch this ball, and by applying this force, this ball comes to the state of rest. See, from motion, on the application of force, this motion comes to the state of rest. So let's see second example. This ball, it was in the state of rest. See, it was lying on ground. So this person, he applies force with the help of this hockey stick, and on applying force, we can see this ball will come into the state of motion. See here, from rest to motion, change of state is taking place. Let's see the third example. So this ball, it was while playing cricket, you can see this ball was dragging on the ground. Dragging means it was moving on the ground, but this person, he applied force with his hands to stop its motion. So once he applied force, this ball comes to the state of rest. So in all the given examples, you can see motion is changing into rest, or rest is changing into motion on the application of force. Again, you can take few examples from your daily life. One most common example I want to share is when you start driving. See, you apply force on the accelerator of your vehicle. So on the application of this force, your vehicle will start moving. So just think of some other examples also from your daily life, and again you can post in the comment section. My main motive is you have to think the similar examples. So for each, more you think, more you will understand the concept. Now the next change is change in shape. Force can change the shape of an object. So we'll understand how. See, this person has applied force on this can, and you can see its shape is changed. He has just crushed the metallic can on the application of force or by applying force. This dough, the shape of the dough will be changed on application of force. You can try these also. Once you do these things, you can see the shape of the thing or the shape of the object will get changed. On squeezing the lemon, you can see the shape of the lemon will be changed. A pottery, you can see a potter with the help of his hands, he is just changing the shape of the pot. So in all the given examples, my main motive is to make you understand how the shapes of different objects, they can be changed by the application of force. See, this is what we are applying force, we are applying here also we are applying force, and in all the 4 examples you can see on the application of force shape is getting changed. So you can again think of some more examples similar to these or from your daily life in which the force is changing the shape of the object. Now let's continue the next one, change in direction. Force can also change the direction of an object. See, a person is playing cricket and you can see with the help of this bat the direction of the ball is changed, and this I am sure every one of you has experienced this also, and you can see how on the application of force direction is changed. Next example, again it is similar on playing badminton. You can see the direction of the shuttlecock, it's continuously it is getting changed on the application of force, and this force we are applying with the help of these rackets or badmintons. This is very common example, kicking of a football. So if you kick the football, you can easily see the shape of the football can be changed easily. All these examples I have already taken from the daily life situations. Just think of some more examples. The more examples you think, more you will understand the concept, because this is already very easy concept. Everything is related to your life. So now let's start with the types of force. So we have 2 types of force. First one is contact force, second one non-contact force. So again in contact and non-contact we have further types. In contact force we have 3 types: muscular force, frictional force and mechanical force. And in non-contact also we have 3 types: magnetic force, electrostatic force and gravitational force. Let's see what's the meaning of all these forces. So let's start with the contact force. A contact force, see, it is clear from the word itself. Contact means direct touching. So a force that is exerted only when 2 objects they are touching each other. See, I have taken examples also. They are touching him. So and force is being applied. Since same here, this girl is touching this, and you can see on touching only force is being applied. Here also you can see there is a touch between the hand and the pencil, due to which a person is able to apply the force, and as a result he is able to write. So in all the 3 examples you have seen there is direct touch involved between the 2 objects in which force is being exerted. So that is the contact force. When a force in which direct touching is involved is contact force. Now let's understand its types. First one is muscular force. Muscular force is a force which is exerted by our muscles. See, this person is doing weightlifting. He is using his hands, which means muscles of his hands are being used, due to which he will be able to lift this dumbbell. Second one, the bullocks, they are dragging this cart with the help of their muscles. And here 2 teams they are playing tug of war, and you can see they are just pulling this rope towards each of them. So now we can see here they are using their hands, again they are using their muscles. So one thing you can just remember, muscular force. So when you are using your arms, hands or legs, that means you are making use of muscular force. For example, when we kick a football, we make use of our legs. So again we are using muscular force. So direct involvement of your body parts means you are using muscular force. The next one is frictional force. Frictional force is an opposing force that opposes the motion of one body over the surface of other. So frictional force, this is very important force, and you just have to remember one thing about frictional force, that it is opposing force. Opposes means it will stop the motion. For example, when you are cycling, so if you apply brake, your cycle will stop. So why the cycle will stop? It is due to the friction between the tires and ground. That's what I have told you, it is opposing force. It will oppose your motion. See, in the first example, this boy is trying to push this table, but this table is not able to move forward because it's very heavy, and moreover this rough surface, always rough surface will provide the friction. This rough surface is provide friction to this table, due to which it's not able to move. Next one, we can see this person is trying to pull this rock, but again this rough surface is providing friction to this, due to which it is not able to move. Opposing force means it will not allow motion, it will oppose the motion, and mostly rough surfaces, they provide frictional force. This example I have already taken. Once you apply brake, your motion will be stopped or your cycle will be stopped. Here you can see two persons. A person A, he is able to do skating on ice, whereas person B is not able to do skating on the grassy surface. So why is that so? Because grassy surface being hard, it is providing him friction, due to which he is not able to slide. So you can remember one thing, why we are able to walk. We are able to walk just because ground is providing us friction, due to which we are able to walk. And similarly, you can take this example also, why we are not able to move on a icy surface. So same reason, icy surface, it won't provide you friction, due to which you are not able to walk, you will get slipped. And one common example again, writing with the pen on a paper. Again, why you are able to write? Because the paper provides the friction to the pen, due to which we are able to write. And same goes, if the paper is very slippery or very shiny, you won't be able to write. It's due to the absence of friction. Friction is only in rough surfaces. So this was all about frictional force. Now mechanical force. Mechanical force is very simple, a force which is exerted by machines. So whichever machine is there, and that the force exerted by that machine is known as mechanical force. So I have taken one example. See, force which this pulley is exerting. This pulley is also a simple machine, so which this pulley is exerting is known as mechanical force. But here you can see this boy is lifting bucket through pulley. So here in this one picture or in this one image, two forces are there, because I told you when a person is using his hands, which means it's muscular force. So you can see he is applying muscular force or he is exerting muscular force, but on the other hand, if you are talking about this machine pulley, this machine is exerting mechanical force. You can take other examples also. For example, your cars or any vehicle, whichever force, because once you apply force on the accelerator, it will start moving. So why it will start? Because it also exerts some force. So the force which is exerted by them, it is known as mechanical force. Simple is that if you see any machine and if a question is asked to you which type of force is this, you can directly tell it is contact motion plus it is mechanical force. Sorry, it is contact force and it is mechanical force or mechanical contact force. Now let's talk about non-contact forces. So non-contact, it is already clear from the word itself. Non-contact means direct touching is not involved here. So forces that act when bodies are not physically in contact. You might have observed, like leaves of the tree, it will fall down, or fruits from the trees, they always fall down. So why they fall down? This is due to the force of gravity, which is example of non-contact, which is a type of non-contact force. So here you can see, you are not plucking the leaves of a tree and throwing them, or plucking the fruits from the tree and throwing them. It is the fruit will itself get detached from the tree and it will fall down. So this is a non-contact force which is exerted by gravity. See, there is no contact, no direct touching is involved. This fruit itself get detached and fell on the ground. So this type of force where no direct contact is involved, those forces are known as non-contact forces. The types we have already done. We have three types of non-contact force. First one is magnetic force, then electrostatic force and gravitational force. So let's start with magnetic force. Magnetic force is a force that attracts certain metal objects like iron and iron fillings towards a magnet. So in simple words, magnetic force is a force which is exerted by a magnet. So you have observed, if you have seen magnet, you can see a magnet will always attract iron pieces towards it. See, this is a magnet and it is attracting this iron nails. This is a magnet and it is attracting these paper clips which are made up of iron. So magnet, it will always attract iron. And see, from a little distance, if you keep a magnet and iron, both the pieces at little distance, you can observe that without any contact they will start attracting each other. So you don't have to hold iron nail in your hand and then you have to stick it to the magnet. No, it will automatically, magnet will automatically attract iron nails towards it. So for magnetic force, you have to remember one thing. In magnetic forces, they can be attractive also and they can be repulsive also. You don't have to do remember much. Just one thing you have to remember here, that attractive forces, unlike poles of magnet, they will always attract each other, and repulsive means like poles of magnet, they will repel each other. So in magnet we have two poles, north and south pole. So like unlike poles, see here north pole, here south pole, here south pole, north pole. See, I have just arranged this in a position such that, see, unlike poles, they are facing each other, which means they will attract each other. See, and where like poles I have placed towards each other, see, north pole, south, they will repel each other, means they will start moving towards, they will start moving away from each other, and in case of unlike pole, they will move towards each other. So this was just, you have to remember. No detailing about the magnetic forces, only one thing, a force which is exerted by a magnet, plus it can be attractive force also and it can be repulsive force also. The next one is electrostatic force. So electrostatic force is the force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. Basically, electrostatic force is a force exerted by any charged body on another object. So this is, I want to explain you with very simple activity which I am sure you have done it earlier also. If you rub this comb with your hair, after some time you will, if you bring this comb near to the bits of paper, you can see this comb will start attracting these bits of paper. So why is that so? Because on rubbing this with your head or with your hair, this comb will acquire charge. Now this comb is a charged particle, but this paper is uncharged. So this charged particle or charged object will start attracting this uncharged object. it can attract charged object also, but this main thing is this force is exerted by a charged object. Same activity if you perform with on a balloon also. If you rub balloon on your head, if you rub it with your hair, you can see now it will become charged object. It will start attracting bits of paper, because now there exist electrostatic forces of attraction. See, direct touch is not involved. You are not using your hands to fix these bits of paper into this on this surface. See, they are just getting attracted by themselves. That is why it is known as non-contact force. If you want, you can try this activity also, and it will be very interesting, because it is always interesting if you learn the things by doing yourself. The next one is gravitational force. This force I have already explained you at the starting of non-contact force. See, this is the force which is exerted by gravity on all the objects. So why whichever thing we throw, it falls down only? The reason is it is due to the gravitational force. So every object, it will fall down due to the force of gravitation. If you are playing with ball, you can see the ball, after some time it will fall down. Fruits and leaves from the trees also, they will fall down on the ground. If you are walking also, see, it's very common example. If you are walking also, you can see you are not floating in air. You are able to put your feet on ground in every step. So this is again due to the force of gravity. So this was all about the contact and non-contact forces. Now I have given you few figures, and you have to see which type of force is involved in a particular figure. So first one we will do here. Next you have to do yourself, and you can post your answers in the comment section. So first, if I see this boy is playing with the ball. You can see this ball is falling down on the ground. Falling down on the ground means, just now we have done why all objects they will fall on the ground. This is due to force of gravity, and this is non-contact force. So I just want to try the remaining 5 figures, and you have to mention which type of force is this, and further subtype also you have to mention, like this is non-contact force and it is gravitational force. So you have to mention, is it non-contact or contact, then further type, muscular, frictional, like this you have to mention. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you like, do share and do subscribe the channel, and I will continue pressure in the next video, and then we'll continue and we'll do few questions also in the third video. So total 3 videos will be there of force and pressure. Thank you.